Hey guys, and welcome back. So, this week's video will be about a question we get very often, and we got it again this week. So, we thought we would make a video on it, and here is the question. So, it's a very important question and it's a very pertinent one. We get this very often, what to do about case laws and judgments, which ones to do, which ones to not do, which ones to avoid, do we have to do all of them? Just because the sheer number of cases that there are with each and every law subject. So, what to do about it? And today we're going to discuss that. So, here's the answer. When you're preparing for judicial services exam or any other exam for that matter, any competitive exam, law exam, it is important that you know which case laws to prepare for. So let's talk about it in two parts. Number one, landmark judgments. It is important that you're thorough with all the landmark judgments in all the subjects for all of the topics. You must know the landmark judgments for each and every subject. You should know their facts, you should know their name, you should know the citation, you should know the ratio of the case. You should know the observations made in the case. You should know everything about landmark judgments. Make landmark judgments your life because that is where most of the examiners will make application based questions from. If you don't know how to learn citations for landmark judgments, we have a video on that and I will link it on your screen in a card. Apart from the landmark cases, there are also other cases. But for landmark cases, the down low is that you need to know everything about it. So let's come to the part 2 now. What to do with the non-landmark cases, which are not the most famous, the most popular, the most important ones, but they are there in your books. So what do you do about them? For the non-landmark cases, we understand it is difficult to do each and every case just because of the sheer number of cases. So here is the deal. For cases other than landmark cases, you don't need to remember their names or citations, but that's about it. You need to know what's in it. So whenever it is mentioned in your book, go through what was held in the case, know what the ratio was in the case. You can skip on learning or mugging up the names and citations, but you should know what was held in the case. It will not take you too long. Just quickly go through the ratio and see what was held in the case. So if you get an application based question, which was from a law in that case, you will at least know what was held in the case. And if you don't know what was the name of this case and you get an application based question on it, here's a helpful tip. Whenever you get such a question, you can always write in the answer that in a leading judgment, it was held so and so. Or you can say, in a recent judgment of Supreme Court or High Court, it was held so and so. So you're not giving the name of the case, but you're giving the ratio or what was held in that case. And that's what examiners want to know. They want to know that you understand the law. The case name, you can always open a book and see what it is. Even once you become a judge or you get a law job or you're through the exam, you can always check the name of the case. But they want to know that you understand what was held in the case. So if you're ever stuck on the case name, you can always use this trick. However, when it comes to landmark judgments, it's best that you know everything about them. For non-landmark judgments, you should at least know what was held in the case, even if you don't know the name or the citation of the non-landmark judgment. And if it's any recent judgment which has overturned a law or it has laid down a landmark law or something which is there in every news item, anything that has happened recently which has been in the newspapers, in that case it's best if you also know the name of the case, not just writing in a recent judgment. And the conclusion is that for all landmark judgments you have to remember everything, the name, the citation, ratio, observation, everything. And for other cases or non-landmark cases, you should at least know what the ratio was in the case, what was held in the case, what the law is. And if you get an application based question on it, you can always say it was held in a leading case, so and so. And if there is a recent judgment which came out of Supreme Court in the last month or the last 6 months which has overturned a law or it has been monumental or historic, it's best if you learn the name of that recent judgment. I would like to take the quick opportunity to thank you all for your lovely wishes on a 5,000 subscriber mark, and we hope that you're enjoying the sale we're having, because it's a limited edition sale and it's not going to happen often. Some of you asked this question, so I'm going to quickly answer that. When you add the books to the cart, the discount will be applied automatically at the time of checkout. They will ask you to give the address and phone number. In the end, when your option to place order, the discount of 200 rupees for all 3 books will be automatically applied. You don't need a coupon code, you don't need to do anything, you just have to go to the last step, and over there it will be applied. And for the foundation course also, it is 50% off for a limited time only, and you don't need a coupon code for it, it is automatically there. So we hope you're enjoying the sale. And if you have any such questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll do videos on your questions. If you have any of these questions, you can email us or you can leave it in the comments. We hope you enjoyed, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified of new videos.